useful unbeaten runs, and the commentary from Tony Gubba.
There are no excuses in the pitch. The old mud heap on which Tottenham and Southampton became FA Cup victims was reseeded in the summer on 150 tons of sand, and it's perfect. But arguments in favour of the cup holders Everton are weakened more by Duncan Ferguson's failure to recover from a groin strain picked up at the weekend. He's out. It'll be Amakachi and Graham Stewart up front, and equally significant, the inclusion of fullbacks Andy Hinchcliffe and Matthew Jackson to stop Port Vale's flying wingers. Well, Ian Bogie is a former Newcastle apprentice, once hailed as the new Gaza, and his dramatic equaliser after coming on as a substitute at Goodison has earned him a start tonight. Ray Walker drops to substitute. It's Vale's only change from the first meeting, and if the wide men Steve Guppy and John McCarthy can provide a similar supply of crosses, then the Valentines message for the visitors may be prophetic. Mike Reid of Birmingham, the referee. Well, Everton only conceded one penalty goal on their way to winning the trophy last season. They've already had 6 put past them this time. Here's Foyle. Oh, a good early strike, and it's got away from Southall. Well, we've had less than 10 seconds, and Southall has to make the first save at the foot of his post, and it's squirmed away from him. Just hit the turf in front of him, which might have made it difficult. Corner taken short. Here's Guppy. Southall collecting it finally at that near post, but that was an early warning to Everton. No offside against Foyle, but he won't keep it in. Well, Port Vale drew at Sunderland in their only match since the first meeting at Goodison. Everton have beaten drew with Southampton and beat Manchester City. Well, Watson came over the top. Bogie. Here's Guppy. Tankard. Andy Hill. Craig Short's come out to pressurise him. Bogie. Oh, good footwork by Bogie. Good strike! Oh, Bogie's done it again! And you could see then why at St James's Park they once hailed him as a new Gaza. That was a lovely bit of football to jink his way through the defence. Super strike, super goal, and look at the way he beat Barry Horn. Just a little shimmy, and then he sized up the situation, and there was no deflection required this time. It brushed the post as it went in. It couldn't have been tighter to it. We've had 17 minutes, and suddenly Ian Bogie has scored the second FA Cup goal of his career, and it's put the First Division side in the lead against the cup holders. And if Everton dreaded that it might be a difficult night for them tonight, now they know for certain. Well, he went on his travels, Ian Bogie, after a spell at Newcastle in which he only made 20 appearances. Stewart, Matthew Jackson trying to whip it in. Here's Porter. First time in this fourth round tie that Everton have been behind. They led to Amakachi at Goodison, and then Ferguson restored their lead. What's well struck by Unsworth, but twice Port Vale pegged them back. Indeed, in the third round too against Stockport, Everton twice led and were twice pulled back to a draw. But Bogie, he's been on his travels since that spell at Newcastle, at Preston, at Millwall, at Orient, and Port Vale picked him up for £50,000 last March. Oh, nice touch by Naylor. There's bogey again. Well, he would have done better to have played that out wide, because both the wide players were in support of that break. But another nice little touch by Tony Naylor. John Rudge at the back, second longest serving manager in football. He's won 3 promotions with Port Vale during his time. It's a chase for Naylor and McCarthy. Oh, Naylor may get there. He's not sure where it is, neither is Southall. It's a corner. Well, if he'd known exactly where the ball was instantaneously, that might have been number 2. Corner taken short. McCarthy, he's not overrun it, he's kept it in, has he? Oh, the linesman has signalled that it did go behind. Goal kick. And McCatchy's little touch. Oh, a lot of room here for Graham Stewart. Where are the 2 fullbacks? It's there! Everton have equalised! It's 1-1, and it's Everton's turn to equalise in a cup tie against Port Vale. Stewart's 13th of the season. It's lucky 13 for Graham Stewart. It's lucky 13 for Everton. There were just the 2 central defenders, and there was a deflection, and Port Vale were caught with defenders forward, having had that corner themselves only a few seconds earlier. And he is in a great goal-scoring run at the moment, Graham Stewart, certainly the best of his career. 13 in 27 appearances so far this season, and that after only scoring 7 goals in the 2 previous seasons. Right out. Here's Hinchcliffe. It's a long range, and it was close enough for Musselwhite to be uncertain. Good header, Naylor. There's Foyle. He's onside, Naylor. There's no support for him. Does he need it? Oh! He turned the defence. He made the space for the shot. And only the final touch let him down. There was no other white shirt up in support. He had to go alone. Got free of Craig Short. It was well struck, it was just drifting away from that near post. Andy Hinchcliffe. Ebrel, well pulled down. Still Ebrel, good strike! Pulled it down very well. And McCatchy got out of the way. Here's Bogey. Not offside. McCarthy. Southall saved it, but was he in his area or was he out of it? He spooned it up. Naylor. It's a goal kick, and you'd have to say that Neville Southall won that one. Came streaming out of his penalty area. The flag stayed down. McCarthy had beaten the offside, and he was outside his area, Southall, but he saved it with his body. And then with the net empty, Naylor miscuing. Had much more time than he thought, Naylor. Well, Everton, the cup holders, knew it was going to be difficult. They found out just how difficult as early as the 17th minute. Ian Bogey, once an England schoolboy international who was thought to have a great future. He's 28 now. But a super goal to really rock the foundations underneath the cup holders. Graham Stewart has steadied the ship with that equaliser after 31 minutes. But there's a lot more football to play in this cup tie yet. It's Port Vale 1, it's Everton 1. 45 more minutes and then extra time if required, and then penalties. We have to have a decision tonight to decide who goes through to the 5th round of the FA Cup. Port Vale haven't been that far since they put Tottenham out at this stage back in 1988. But they certainly look good enough to do it tonight. Against an Everton team who've found their defence of the Littlewood-sponsored FA Cup this season really difficult. Barry Horn. This is Edwell. Hinchcliffe. He's playing much deeper now, having been pulled back by Joe Royal after the early threats from McCarthy. It's gone over the head of the full-back. That was Guppy in that position. Amakachi recracks the quickest. Oh, great shot by Stewart. Fine save. Amakachi was off the blocks like lightning and so aware that Graham Stewart was just behind him. In fact, he didn't even try to touch it, just held off the defender. And Stewart's shot was goal bound. That's tight, helped on by Jackson, off the line! And Bogey brings it away, and it was Guppy who saved it on the line and denied Matthew Jackson a goal. Here's McCarthy. Griffiths. Finds Bogey rather. Leaves it. Helps it on its way to Tankard. There's Porter. That's a good ball in. Foyle's header. Oh yeah! Neville Southall scrambling on his goal line. And Amakachi deep in his own half. Edward thought about a shot. Kanchelskis. Nicked off the heels of a defender. Graham Stewart. Russell White comes and claims it. That was a good bit of pressure for Everton. They might have made more of that, and now Guppy might stretch them. Out to his wide colleague McCarthy. Guppy! Oh, great save! Southall shows all his experience and all the quality that has twice made him an FA Cup winner with Everton. Approaching 700 senior appearances for his club, and that was another super save. Porter trying to anticipate Guppy's presence, and he got it wrong. And Southall has rescued Everton. Steve Guppy, the former Wycombe Wanderers player whom Kevin Keegan took to Newcastle for £150,000 and then just gave him one first-team appearance. Good quick distribution. Here's Naylor. Got Bogey breaking down that left side. And Martin Foyle. Now there's more white shirts in support this time. Oh, Bogey! Oh, he almost caught out Neville Southall. When that ball was 5 yards from goal, you could have sworn it was going to beat Neville Southall. He just threw up the hands at the last minute to tip it over. Guppy and Bogey in discussion about what to do with the corner. Foyle didn't get there. Here's John McCarthy. Right out. Horn wants it played in front of him. The wide-out ignored him. Andy Hinchcliffe. Griffiths didn't get back on his feet. Well, he did, in fact, just quickly enough. And bogey went out off Andy Hinchcliffe, so it's a Port Vale throw. He did play 9 games on loan to Port Vale, early stage of his Everton career, level Southall, so the dressing rooms here not unfamiliar to him. Naylor scrambling through, still there, pulls it back, Foyle! Well, he got the first equaliser at Goodison, Martin Foyle, but he missed the sitter as well. And he's ballooned another one over the target. Tony Naylor bustling through, cutting it back intelligently for his centre forward, who had one touch to steady it and then got right underneath it. Here's Guppy, it was well left. McCarthy! Yes! It's 2-1 Port Vale! And it's the two wide men, the two greyhounds down the flanks, with which Port Vale have torn the heart out of the cup holders. Guppy down the left, McCarthy up the right, and how fitting that they should combine to get the goal that may put Port Vale into the 5th round. Guppy looked up, he saw McCarthy arriving in off the inside of the post. Hill. This is Guppy, marked by Edward. Oh, he did him, absolutely. Naylor into the side netting. Well, Steve Guppy is certainly using this occasion to display all of his talents. He's 26. He's been here since November 1994. Foil weights. It's won by Barry Horn. Stewart. And there's Limpar just on as a substitute. It's his first touch. Not a bad touch by Graham Stewart. Again, Neil Aspin perhaps thinking that his keeper was going to come a bit closer. Just chipped up by Griffiths, and there's no offside. Here's Naylor, Southall's off his line. Hinchcliffe clears it with Southall yards off his line and just a bit more pace on it, and it would have been 3 for Port Vale. It was cleared from the back of Vale's defence by Griffiths, just hooked up field really, and Naylor was just onside. Hinchcliffe back to cover. Here he is again. Well, he's been an absolute torment, Naylor. Aspin watches it, gets good distance with his header. That's it! John Rudge's team have done it. The FA Cup holders are beaten. A quick handshake with Joe Royle. But the team currently facing a relegation fight in Division 1 were never overawed by their Premiership opponents. Indeed, they had the better of them, played well at Goodison and deserved their draw, and tonight, particularly the second half performance, were really outstanding. Bogey got the equaliser at Goodison and then set things off for them tonight with that goal in 17 minutes. But in the second half particularly, it was the performance of the two wide men, Steve Guppy and John McCarthy, which tore Everton to pieces. And how fitting that it was Guppy who supplied the cross and McCarthy the finish for the goal which puts Port Vale through into the 5th round by 2-1. And would you believe it, that Valentine that we saw before the kick-off came absolutely true. It's Port Vale 2, it's Everton 1. John, you've had some excitement during your 12 years as manager at Port Vale, but how does tonight compare?
Well, it's a great night for us, similar to the one when we beat Tottenham and Southampton as well. The FA Cup always brings up 1 or 2 results, and but I thought we thoroughly deserved the victory tonight.
Joe, that's obviously a big disappointment for Everton.
Embarrassing, really. I think over the 90 minutes we've had Neville Southall, Dave Watson and Graham Stewart, who were exceptional. But you can't play anybody with 3 men, and that's what we had on the night. Without taking anything away from Port Vale, who thoroughly deserved it, and but for Big Neville would have had more. We were very, very poor, and that's the worst performance since I've been here.
Was that the best your team have ever played for you?
Oh no, we play like that every week.
If you do, you'll fill the place every week.
Well, it was great to see 20,000 people here, and obviously there's pottery people who will see us, and sort of perhaps we might get a few more next week.
Well, they were a credit to the First Division tonight. Action from tonight's other FA Cup tie.